opportunity to. Professor Garba was on his way. I see that my internet is not stable, but can you hear me, sir? Hello, Prof. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, sir. So on his way yesterday, we got some feedback from some certain citizens who were in his vehicle, those who were driving with him. They gave us the summary of it is, we are tired. The citizens are tired of this and they want a way forward and government to help. That is everything we got from that. That the people are peaceful, the people are just okay, safe.
And then we also got into the street yesterday and we had some views from people that are of the opinion that we need job. If the youths, a lot of people, the idle mind
Is the devil's workshop. So there is need to create employment. So different people give their different points of views. But what the program targets at is, how do we stop the bloodshed? And then what are the activities we do or that we carry out as individuals that really dehumanizes the other person, that makes our life like life is just passing, both in whichever way. Different people have their different opinions, and I made mention of it, that you might not carry a sword, you might not carry a gun, you might not carry a dagger, but with the words of your mouth, bloods can roll, heads can roll. With just one singular action on social media, all of this can.
These cattle and farmers and sorry sir, herders and farmers clashes. Some people are like, the basic problem, the generation, the origin is the fact that education is not available to both the farmers and both the herders. When people are well educated, they understand some certain things. Sorry, network is off. Okay, they understand some certain things, and then
must take the problem of education seriously. The herdsmen are deprived of education. Now, if we had pursued the education of the herdsmen when it was first introduced as a national policy by the Babangida administration, if we had pursued that policy seriously, many of these Fulani, I will not say most, but many of them wouldn't have been roaming the country today. They wouldn't have been roaming all over the country today. At least many of them will have become, they will have settled in some parts of the country, instead of moving their cattle across farms, across farmlands from the north to the south, creating a lot of problems. So I think this aspect, we must consider the fact that the Fulani are actually deprived of education, all forms of education, whether it is religious education, which is more or less traditional and cheap, informal, or it is the formal education. So when the nomadic education was introduced by the Babangida administration, successive governments have failed to take it seriously. Beyond paying lip service to the education of the nomads. That is the first thing I think we must consider. When people are living in the bush, in the forest, with trees and wild animals, I mean, you don't expect them to start thinking and behaving like people who are residing in the city and receiving education and socializing with other people. So I think that's where we missed the direction when we either treating the education of the herdsmen with levity. We need to take that very seriously. Number two, I think now in the 21st century, we must admit the fact that open grazing is quite unnecessary and out of fashion with the realities of today, right? Open grazing, I think, should not be tolerated. We must try to address, we're not saying that the Fulani should abandon the cows, but I thought against it, instead of people to sit down and say, okay, look, we should do it this way instead of this way. Any state, for example, in the South, I can understand the constraints of the southern part of the country. They don't have sufficient land. They may have the vegetation due to the rainfall, but they don't have the land. Land is a serious issue. Now, in the north, where land is not a serious issue as such, we have two-thirds. The north has two-thirds of the land in the country. Now, I think the federal government ought to have paid attention to the north, especially the source of this cattle. Adamawa, Borno, Katsina, Kano, and Kebbi, and all the rest of them, northeast and northwest. Now, some part of central, not central. Now, if, for example, these states had indicated seriousness and commitment towards the establishment of cattle ranch or ruga, as the federal government put it, I think that will have gone a long way in solving our problems. Instead of allowing Fulani to move their cattle from Kebbi to Port Harcourt, I mean, this is completely unrealistic, traversing the farmlands of people, destroying their farm products, preventing them from farming, clashing with the farmers. I mean, I think this will have been seriously addressed. This is one thing that I think we must go back to. The intention of the federal government to establish Ruga, yes, it's true that some states, particularly in the south, were opposed to it. But that doesn't mean that the baby should be thrown away with the bathwater. At least states in the north that are ready to accommodate such projects should be encouraged and supported by the federal government. And this shouldn't be a big deal for anybody in the south. If Kano says we want to establish Ruga, it should be assisted by the federal government. And probably some international funding or grants can be acquired to assist such things so that the Fulani can be settled in one place and they can enjoy the benefit of remaining in one place, receiving education and the support that they need for the upkeep of their cattle, right? Now, if such states that have Ruga want to supply, for example, states that do not have such Ruga, they can simply use modern facilities, cold room, fish from Lagos, from Port Harcourt. Hello? Hello?
Prof.
Pasture. I think such states in the north should be encouraged and supported, to domesticate, if you like, the Fulani, keep them in one place and supply them with all that they require to rear their cattle without disrupting farming, even in the north here. Because even in the north here, the problem is like it's all over the country. The Fulani herdsmen disrupt farming activities, harvesting, planting, and keep on quarreling with the farmers, and a lot of bloodshed. So I think if these two things are done, probably is going to reduce the bloodshed as far as the relationship between the Fulani herdsmen and the farmers is concerned in this country. Get my point very clearly. In summary, what I'm saying, I am not in support of open grazing. I am not. Whether the open grazing is in the north or in the south or in the whole country, and supporting, you know, whether it is cattle ranch, you call it cattle ranch or ruga, such thing is the best in this 21st century, but not allowing the Fulani to move freely and graze openly everywhere in the name of freedom. Yes, it is true that there's freedom of movement. Just like you said, there's freedom of speech, but your freedom of speech stops where the rights of other people begins from. You can't, because you are free to talk, continue to insult everybody or say whatever you like recklessly. There must be control. Yes, the Fulani are, if you like, citizens of this country and are free to move everywhere, but they are not. They shouldn't be free to destroy people's farmland and create a problem between themselves and the and sedentary farmers all over the country. That's my contribution. Now, there is also another aspect of this bloodshed, this so-called kidnapping. This kidnapping, you know, uh, of course, it is not just the Fulani that are involved in kidnapping. This, let's be very frank about it. We know that virtually every ethnic group, you can get criminals from among them. In fact, this issue reminds me of one critical rule of the media. The media must stop ethnicizing criminality. A Hausa man has slapped a Yoruba man. A Hausa man has killed a Yoruba man. A Yoruba man has robbed a Hausa man. I mean, it doesn't make sense. A criminal is a criminal without referring to the ethnicity of the criminal. If two people are fighting, there's no need to say Yoruba is fighting Hausa, Hausa is fighting Yoruba. No, it doesn't make sense. I think this is where the media also, they have to exercise caution in reporting disputes between people. You know, husband and wife quarrel. So, I mean, what is the big deal if two other people are fighting and one happens to be Yoruba, another one happens to be Igbo, or one happens to be Hausa and another one happens to be Yoruba? Why do you have to start ethnicizing criminality and people's action? A Hausa man has done this, a Yoruba man has done this, Yoruba people are, I mean, in all this type of generalization, you know, definitely there's a problem. And all this ethnicization is inciting. It's inciting. You know, it's like inciting people. If people quarrel, what is it? Let's look at the cause of the quarrel objectively and address the issue. Usually, these things are economic, pure and simple. It's not more than that. So let's face them. Try to invest. Let's try to investigate what the cause is. Instead of just sitting down, the media will start blowing everything up and say Hausa man attack Yoruba, Yoruba in Lagos attack Hausa. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So the media also has to exercise restraint. And when they do such, when the media is involved in such thing, and government is trying to caution, the people say, the government is trying to tamper with freedom of the media. You know, so we just have to be realistic and sincere and honest with ourselves if we want to avoid this this bloodshed. You know, let's stop ethnicizing crime and criminality. You know, that is very important as well. Now, I think in the meantime, let me stop here and get a feedback.
Let me go to a less noisy places.
Hello.
Okay, Prof, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yes,
I can hear you. So no problem, sir. We've heard. Okay, yes, the response is this, sir.
Yes.
If I get you, I've been able to get 2 points Yes, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the program. Good morning, everyone. I want to believe you can all hear me. I will just start by testing our audience to be okay. Good, great. So, welcome to the program. It's good to have us all logged in for this beautiful and wonderful edition of hashtag Stop the Bloodshed, Stop Retaliation. Let us forgive ourselves. That's the best way we can chart a way forward. We will be talking about reconciliation, conflict resolution, and restitution on this episode of the program. It's good to have all of us present in the house. I will start by getting some introduction from us. I'd like us to introduce ourselves, and then we go on to do the speaking. My name is Oluwadam Lola Shalom Oni. And I thank you so much for joining. I am the National Coordinator for Here Nigeria. And the reason why we are all gathered in this room this morning is that every human life matters. If you remember for those of us that was there, and I want to believe there was a clip that we started playing and you followed, that was our last edition, which took place on the 12th, on the 13th, and on the 14th of February. We dedicated that to those that have lost their lives on the program. Yes, we need to put an end to all of this. Every human life matters. Every Nigerian life matters. Let us stop ethnicizing. We belong to one big and one full country called Nigeria. You are my brother. I am your sister. We are all one together. We need to chart a way forward to resolving all of this. You're welcome to the program. I am not alone in this. I'm not alone in this program. I have some crew of people within the studio. So we'll start by doing the introduction of the studio member crew, and then we'll come back to Zoom. We just have you introduce yourself, and we'll pick it up from there. We introduce the topic of the day, and then we have the chat. So with me in the studio this morning, we have the social media section. Amara is her name. She will introduce herself and also have a Daisa, please. All right, we are waiting for Lady Amara to do her introduction. So I want to believe she's set and she's on standby. And after Amara, we come back to Mr. Adeza. But like the program moves on, there are what we call citizens participation. People can call in case you have someone who is interested in participating on this platform and do not have a Zoom app or do not have internet to do all of this. The person can call the numbers that are on the screen: 080-5599-6919. And then we are streaming live as we speak now on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, we are streaming. So the Zoom room is not big enough for you to take in, or you do not have that platform. Please log on YouTube at herenigeria.com. But I want to believe the social media team will give us all of those details. So I move back to Amara. Amara, please can we have you introduce yourself and tell us what you...
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, welcome to the program. And so we are here again for this program.
Because she use an earpiece. I guess that is a problem.
Sorry, Amara, you have to
hold on because you're echoing.
hold on because you're echoing.
Mute yourself, please.
Mute yourself, please. Can you mute yourself? So we'll quickly move quickly to Mr. Deza while he does his introduction. Then we get Lady Amara. I think she should be set by then. So Mr. Deza, please, what do you have for us on the program and what role will you be playing?
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Adeza. I will just be here to read the feedback from all the social media platforms this morning.
It's affecting the program. It's affecting the program. Hold on. Give me your phone, please. Thank you.
Okay, like she said, we'll be having calls and we'll be reading messages on the social
Can you
media
hear
platforms
Can you hear
you
him?
to call him.
I don't know why we are doing this. This is a live program. No matter whatever it is, should stop. I have other things I should do.
For you to call in, you can just dial in the number 080-5599-6919. And you can also send messages on all social media platforms at Here Nigeria, whether on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Would be there to read your messages. Whatever messages you have to send will be there. So I will be the one to read the messages out loud so that we can attend to them here on the program. Thank you very much.
All right, we go back to Lady Amara. Please, can we have you mute yourself and then tell us what you'll be giving to us on the program, please?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amara.
All right, I guess we might
not be able to take
Amara, please mute yourself.
I might not be able to take Amara on this edition. So we just go straight to the program and then we get it rolling. I go straight to the participants and then we have Mr. A.Y. Umar. I see you raising your hand. Is that an error? Please, can we have your video deactivated, Amara, please? Thank you. Mr. Umar, please, can you unmute yourself and then please introduce yourself? You could be anonymous on this program. That is permitted. Permit me to introduce that. You could be anonymous and you would want to identify yourself because, yes, we have to forge a way forward, but definitely you could be anonymous. So, Mr. Umar, go ahead and introduce yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, family. I am Comrade Eric. All right. I'm very happy and glad to meet you guys here. I shall be participating in the program as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Umar, we can hardly hear you. Can you please project a bit? Thank you. Can you project a bit, please?
Okay. Let me be audible. Good morning, all. I am Comrade Ewa Umar, speaking right from Zaria, Kaduna State. It's my pleasure meeting you guys, and by God willing, I shall be with you throughout the program. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Umar. We have Mr. MJ. Please, Mr. Umar, can you mute yourself? Can you please? We need you muted, or you mute Mr. Umar, please. Mr. MJ Julde, would you want to activate your video and then talk to us? We can see your audio is activated. Would you want to activate your video or you just want to use your audio? Please go ahead. Mr. MJ Julde.
Yeah, actually, I am MJ Julde from Saminaka, Kaduna State. Happy meeting you guys on this wonderful program. I shall participate to the end of this program by God's willing. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Julde. Mr. Ladi Shoyode is the next person on the list. Mr. Ladi Shoyode, please can you deactivate your video and audio and then introduce yourself so that we can meet you. Thank you, Mr. Ladi.
Well, you've already spoken my name. I'm a legal practitioner and a concerned citizen. I have been following all the events in this program, as I have also followed all the developments closely that has been going on in the country. And we can put the solutions to this in very few words. There is a need.
Okay, no, Mr. Ladi,
Yes.
we just want you to introduce yourself, and that will be all. We are in the introduction section now.
Okay.
So
okay.
it's just
So
an introduction point.
I am introduced.
Yeah.
I am Ladi Shoyode. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Next on we have Redmi 9C. Please, Redmi 9C? Can we meet you? Maybe you have to Okay, Mr. Razak Oguntade, can we meet you? Mr. Razak Oguntade, is great to have you here. You will introduce yourself and is excited. You've always been so committed, just like Mr. Ladi, to this program, and then we really do appreciate. Mr. Razak Oguntade, please, can you unmute yourself, activate your video so that we meet you?
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me from there. Good afternoon, I'm Razak Kadeba.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm Razak Kadeba Yoguntabi, the state coordinator for EI Nigeria Ogun State.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Razak Oguntade. I guess Redmi 9C, he's yet to connect even with his audio. So we'll send a chat to him. Possibly if he reads our chat, he can then connect with us. So having done the introduction, I would like to just give us a reason why we are all gathered here today. Like we all know, some of us have seen it. There is a lot of bloodshed going on in our country. And a lot of retaliation. We need to stop it. Because you did this to me, I'm going to retaliate. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to have a heart of forgiveness. And why we are here this morning is to chart a way forward. How do we reconcile? What is the reconciliation process? Then if we have the reconciliation process, we have the reconciliation. How do we do the resolutions for the conflict? And then in a situation where we have to do some restitution, then how do we go about the restitution? How do we make things right? How do I make my brother happy? And how do I make my sister happy? But I'll start with this introduction to say that I am free, as I said, in the sense of freedom to speech. Indeed, I am free, as I said. You are free to condemn the other person. You are free to say anything you want to say. But have you considered the implication of your words to your brother? Yes, you are free to say all the things you want to say. But have you really considered the implication of this to someone else? We read this on the last edition. Permit me to quickly read this piece written by one of the elder statesmen to us. He says that, how does education, what is national freedom in the first place? What is national freedom? Because everybody says I'm free. On this program, we like you to understand the sensitivity of the other person. We like you to put yourself in other people's shoes when you're throwing stones. We like you to say words that you would want other people to say to you. You don't call people by name. We are not here to quarrel. We are not here to stir up the things that are already in the air. We are here as brothers to see what we can do to get Nigeria back on her feet, to make sure the bloodshed, the retaliation, the unforgiveness that is going on is left. I am your sister, you are my brother, I am your friend. So what is national freedom? How does education contribute to the attainment of that freedom? It will considerably help in understanding of this. I think if we understand what education has to do, and then freedom is defined in the dictionaries as a state of being free, a state of exemption from the power or control of another, exemption from restraints, exemption from slavery or servitude, power of self-determination. In other words, freedom means a state of being free to do whatever you like, in whatever way you choose, and at whatever time you elect. What we are all free to embark on whatever trade, vocation, profession we judge best suited to our individual talents. In short, we are free to do anything and say anything. Theoretically, this is true freedom, unmixed, unalloyed, and totally free from all restraints. But in actual practice, absolute freedom such as this will be bound to degenerate into license and lead to endless clash of interests with disastrous consequences. Indeed, I am free, as I said, to take a stick and begin remorselessly to beat everyone here, especially in this Zoom room. Just imagine me pick a stick and I'm beating everyone. I'm just beating you remorselessly, without any remorse. In such event, if I try it, or people in this studio, I just pick a stick and I start beating everyone. In such events where such a thing happened, there would be a violent breach of the peace, and the result, to me, might be fatal. Just imagine that. So, I am free to stop abruptly in the midst of this program going on and refuse to continue. Similarly, you are free in a body to walk out on me with open contempt before this program goes off. In that event, either of us would have behaved in a most unseemly manner. So what do we say? Let me paint another scenario. A driver setting out from Bere towards Gbagi would, at his pleasure, without regard for pedestrians on other vehicles, drive alternatively on the left, right, or middle of the road. Another driver setting out from Gbagi towards Bere would do likewise. And in such circumstances, it would indeed be a miracle if every pedestrian using the road is not killed, and if every two vehicles coming in the opposition direction do not come into collision. Fortunately, personal or individual freedom is a relative term. For its own benefit, humanity has learned to impose upon it certain well-known restraints of ethics or good morals, or of order and law and convention. Let me stop here. I have just given a preface to freedom of speech, freedom of occupation, freedom of everything, of living. Freedom to say, this is my land, don't touch it. Freedom to say, this is my house, don't go there. Freedom to say, you said the wrong thing to me, I want to say it back. But can we all handle the consequences, which is the blood we are shedding today? As brothers, as sisters, there's need to chart a way forward. What are the basic problems? Education, health challenges, schools, and here and there. We are here to provide solutions to the problem that is going on here. The country cannot do it alone. We, the citizens, need to rise up. We, the citizens, need to come together and help our brothers. Let's go to the farms. Let's go to the bushes and ask for their problem. There are some scenarios. If there is no clinic in the bush and a woman wants to give birth, what happens to her before she's rushed from that bush, before she gets to the main town? Lose the baby or lose her life? In a situation where there is no school, how do you expect that such people are educated? In a situation where there is no water, how do you expect that such people will not be exposed to dangerous diseases? In a situation where there is no lights, wild animals and creeping reptiles, and so on and so forth. In a situation where you feel I'm comfortable in my zone, I'm fine, I don't have a problem. What about your brother? Don't forget the last time a woman gave us a clip. I would like us to play that clip as soon as we can play it. She says, if I eat food and there's a hungry child by my side and I do not give that child the food, the child is hungry. The child might come later to hurt me. The child might come later to do things that I wouldn't expect. But I am not meant to blame that child. Why? Because when the child was hungry, I had access to food and I could share with the child. I refused to share. So here on this platform, I stop the talk now and then I go back to us who are here. You are here to tell us what are the conflicts. Where can we start the reconciliation? And what are the restitutions in a situation where restitutions need to be made, where people are angered? This person did this to me. For that reason, I want to do that. So we really need to put all of this together. So welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. How do we set a clinic in a farm? How do we set a clinic in a forest? How do we put a school in a remote part of Nigeria? How do we even agree to say, I want to be a teacher? You can be a virtual teacher. All of these solutions are there. And together we will smile. I remember the days of Maishan. I remember the days of Wara. I remember the days of Fura de Nunu. Even the Nunu that has lumps that you will see, not the broken Nunu. Where are those days? Where are those days? We need to bring those days back. We need to bring those days back. There's one small green ball that they come to pluck at the back of my grandma's house. I learned it is used for Fura, it is used for Nunu. I eat some wire and I'm like, wow, where are those days? We have lost those days. We need to bring those days back. And it takes you on this program, myself on this program, to bring those days back. So the line is opened for all of us to contribute. Where are those days when you will come, I will give you yam and you give me some peace? I remember those days. I remember those days. I remember those days. Let us bring back those days. We are one. We are together. If there are things we need to treat, there are things we need to take out. Let them out. We will all die one day and we will all meet our Creator one day. What account will we give? Would you have said you have blessed lives? Yes, we can do that. And together, before the end of this year, even by this time next year, all our bushes, all our farms, all our animals will be in peace because we, the human being, we are. Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. Can you all hear me now? Apologies. Apologies. Have I been muted all this while? Oh my God. No. Okay. All right. Mr. A.Y. Umar, to all of these introductions that have been done, to all of these words that I have said, what do you think we can do? Let's chart a way forward. Reconciliation, restitution. What do you advise us to do as one brother, as one sister? I still want to drink the fura with the nunu with lumps, and I want to eat the wara as fresh and as sweet as it is. Go ahead, Mr. A.Y. Umar. Mr. A.Y. Umar, your audio is muted. We can't hear you. Your audio is muted.
Pardon.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Hello. Can you all hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You are loud
Okay.
and
Good
clear. We
afternoon,
can hear
all.
you.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Comrade Ewa Umar from Zaria speaking. Really, it's my pleasure meeting you guys here on this very meeting, and I was just invited. Sorry, I was just invited by a friend to join this meeting, and which I rushly did. As you said, there is a lot of bloodshedding in our country today, ranging from different perspectives. So as youth, what I will advise us to do is that we have to make like a kind of an investigation to really know what are the causative agents, what is causing these problems, and who are those
Tamara,
people
why are you echoing?
really doing this, perpetrating this,
Why
killing
didn't you try
people,
that with
leading
Tamara?
to
You
some
see,
retaliation and what have you.
why is
And
she
then we
echoing?
must tell ourselves the truth. That is an inclusive committee, or let's say, yes, an exclusive investigation committee should be set so that we chart a way forward after finding the causative agents of these problems. Then we now profile possible lasting solution to this. You can see now we have issues like insurgency. Another one is the cattle rustling. The other is banditry. And you see every area of Nigeria, every region have its own peculiar problems, their own peculiar challenges. But the problem is that we, the youth of the country, are really divided. Instead of us to unite, to face them wholeheartedly, to solve them, we are divided across many dichotomies, and which is not healthy for the country. You see, when you see things happening in the north, you find out that other people from the other parts are just withdrawn from it and thinking that is only happening to people from the from the north. The same thing when something is happening in the south, you see people from the north withdrawing as if they are not inclusive of that. And this, we must try to mend this out. We must teach it out and unite, regardless of our religion, our ethnicity, our region, and what have you, so that we faced it with a strong voice. You see, there is an effort being made by one sheikh just recently going into the bushes to negotiate with these bandits and to find out what is happening, what is the really problem with these bandits killing people unnecessarily. And I think we have to back, or we have to find this kind of man that used to go there. We sit with him to find more about, we shall know more about why are these people really taking arms, why are they killing people, why are they kidnapping people for ransom, why are they all doing this. We shall get the answers, and from there we shall profile an actionable plan toward the solution of these problems. This is, I think, what as my own, in my own thinking, we should do this. We must unite, and then we must find a way forward to look for these people that have access to those bandits, those people killing people unnecessarily. And then if we really get the answers, we can now do something within our own rights as citizens, as youth. We shall face them and then know how to legally fight. And then one thing I want us to know, that most of us people that are today using the media are not even, or are not having access, or are not even the primary people causing these mayhems. Most of these people, they don't even know, they don't have access to the internet, they don't know how to use it. What they only know is what they are asked to do, they execute based on plan. So most of them are used as tools, and we must inculcate them in this kind of movement. We must go far to the bush, they reach them, and then sit with them, know their problems. After knowing their problems, we shall jot them down and then know a way forward to those problems. But the fact remains, whether we like it or not, most of these people causing this, we can't just sit within our comfort zone and say we are going to talk, and after all this talking, deliberations and what have you, this discussion will not bring the end to the solution. Let us go far to those places, find a means of reaching these people, sitting with them, knowing, interviewing them, knowing the problems, and then we now know the way forward. Thank you, and thank you. God bless you all.
All right, Mr. AY Umar, it is good to have your perception. What I picked from your perception is a lot of the people that try to do the reconciliation, and at the end of the day, we just hear the talks. It's just talk, and there's no action backing it. I learned you from Castina. Yes, Mr. AY Umar, please,
Yeah,
can you
no, not okay. I have done that.
Good. You are
Can you
presently
hear
in
me?
Castina, right?
I'm in Zaria, really. No, I'm in Zaria, Kaduna State.
Zaria. All
Yeah.
right. Within the crisis, let's narrow it down to your community and to your part. Within the crisis that is happening in Zaria, what do you think
Yes.
the problem is? Like saying it directly the way it is. What is the problem and what is the way forward? How do you
Uh,
think these problems can be resolved? Mr. Omar, I would like you to refer. I just made an instance that if I pick a stick in this Zoom room and I start
yeah.
flogging everybody, I know what I will get in return. And if
Yeah.
two drivers decide to go different ways, not following their lanes, we know what will happen. So can you just, maybe don't mention names, be precise. This is what is going on, and this is what you think we can do.
Yes. As far as I know, uh, like talking in as in Kaduna, taking Kaduna as a whole, most of the challenge we face here, they are just two. One of them is difference maybe between religion, and the second one, which is bedrilling the area of today, is kidnapping, cattle rustling, and banditry. These three, and that's a religion, something I think is the fourth one, but which is it's not, I don't even want to talk about it now. And the reason is that these people, they just come in number at night at times they attack people in the day, they will ransack a village, they will kill people and kidnap some. They also attack maybe herders, those grazing. They rustled their cows, they killed some of them escaped. And with this, they have successfully drawn a line of dichotomy between the communities, between the major people sitting there, that's the herders, and their host communities. And found out, and their host communities, majority of them are farmers. So there is now this kind of hatred between them, because the bandit have successfully, like a kind of draw a line of dichotomy between these people. So the best thing to be done here is that, as you said, there are many scenario occurring, and when we take the legal action to reporting to the nearest places, authorities, and what have you, they just make it just end on a paper. There is no actionable something, and that is why these people keep wallowing, keep enjoying doing this. Today, there is this what we call is it vigilance, community watched. They go after even successfully arresting maybe an insurgent, they handle it to the possible authorities, and before you know, you will not hear anything again. And these people, when they come back again, they kill, they they steal properties, they kidnap people, and they let me just go far, but these are just things that are happening in our area today. There is not that kind of communal trust between we, the communities. There is not that communal trust, and there is not that tolerance, just like before. And to do this, to chart it forward, I think all the youths, the traditional leaders, the religion leaders, the political leaders, and other elites.
Mr. AY Umar, we cannot hear you again. Mr. AY Umar, you are muted. Mr. MJ Mulde, please can you mute your audio, or we mute you from the studio? Thank you, Mr. Mulde. Okay, Mr. AY Umar, are you done? Your audio is muted. Okay, we can't hear you again. Okay, we're just about moving away from you now so that we come back to you later. Okay, Mr. AY, one thing I guessed from you, and I could pick from you, is that the conflicts are caused by, we have religious, we have cattle rustling, and we have kidnapping. That's especially in your own area. And then there's a lot of hatred, and then we also have communal distrust. So that means we live in the same community, we live on the same streets, we are just neighbors, don't throw away from each other, yet we don't trust each other. I can't live my life just trusting you. That is what we got from you. But however, let's go to we pick that from you, and then traditional leaders, political leaders, all of those people have to come forward. I don't know if you are ready now, because I saw you moving away from where there is noise. I observed that there was a background noise from you. I can't even see you again. Mr. AY Umar is not online. So pending when we get back to him to ask him some few questions, Mr. Kamilu Musa Meigoro, we would like to come to you. But there is a participant that we have here, Mr. Laboro. You can't hear us. I'm sure you can't even hear us because you have not joined with your audio. And we've been trying to send you messages. We've been trying to chat with you. Please, if you, maybe you have to log out. Maybe you send him a message to log out and try to reconnect and then join with his audio. And the same thing, Prof. too is trying to connect. He's not. So, Mr. Kamilu Musa Meigoro, we'd like to come to you. Mr. Razak Oguntade is a volunteer and a team head lead for Ogun State here in Nigeria. He's also a farmer and he's had one or two experiences. We would also like to hear from him. So after Mr. Meigoro just disappeared. It's not there again. Mr. Megoro is not online, but we wait for him to be back. And pending when he's back, let's quickly go to Mr. Razak Oguntade. This in Phoenix, we are not seeing Mr. Laboro. We can't connect with you, Mr. MJ Julde. You be on standby while we pick Mr. Razak Oguntade. So, Mr. Razak Oguntade, can we get your feedback from Ogun State?
Yeah, good afternoon, Ma. Can you hear me, Ma? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you
Okay,
loud and clear.
thank you very
yes.
much. Ogun State at the moment, trying their best anyway. Let me say that. I was still sharing with Mr. Reza, I think 2 days ago, about what happened right beside my farm. One of the workers working there was killed on Sunday right on the farm. And it has become something we really need to, it has become a matter of urgency for us to work on, even emergency, because I was still telling them about it, not knowing it's going to happen. So I think one of the major things we need to do, as Mr. AY said, this thing happening to us here in the South is a matter of something that is happening to all of us. Not that something happening in the South, the Northerners will now be like, okay, it is not happening to us. It is what is happening to everyone, not just one person. What is happening to me here is something that is happening to everyone. So it is when we come to that understanding, we'll be able to win this incident, win this case, win this insurgency happening in the country. The matter of insecurity in the country will overcome when we come together as one. Even as youth, we come together as one to fight this and overcome it. There are so many things happening. There are so many things. One of those things also is education. They need to be educated. As you rightly said, what these people receive is instruction for people that are older than them. You couldn't believe, okay, I didn't have access to education, I didn't have access to any school, I didn't have access to anything. And it is what people, my elderly people tell me, it is what I will do. So that is what is happening to these people. And based on the information we are getting, what we are hearing is this thing, those people attacking them are not the Fulani, as based on what we are hearing information. Of course, we've not verified it. But based on the meeting we had 2 weeks ago, and the one, of course, that we had yesterday, is that most of the information we are getting is those attacking these farmers are Bororos from Niger.
Mr. Razak Oguntade, hold
What
on.
I'm
Mr.
saying,
Razak,
yes,
Mr. Razak, hold on.
yes.
There is someone, you are within a noisy background. There's a lady who is
Can you hear
speaking
me
over
now,
your
ma?
voice and is interrupting you. Yes, but you are
Oh,
with
sorry about
someone
that.
is speaking underneath you. Tell the person to excuse you. There is another voice
Okay, ma, no problem.
interrupting your speech. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me, ma? So
Yes, go
what I'm trying
ahead,
to say is
please.
this: now we need to come together. So they need to be educated. Now you made mention of someone going there. Of course, we have people that can go there, talk to them. Like this cleric Gumi going to the forest to meet the bandits. If we have people like that can go there, of course, as I can't go there. So we have people like that can go there, talk to them. Okay, what is the problem? What do they need? Okay, what has been the major problem they are facing? Okay, have they been sidelined from everything happening in the country? Then we will know the next step forward. And of course, enough of we talking and talking. We need actions. We need actions, not just we talking, discussing about it. We need actions. And once the communique for the last meeting and the one we are going to have on the third is out, I will send it to the national office for them to verify, to just read through them. And if there's any other thing they can do with it, then they can do. Of course, there's a meeting on the third again with the Mediatiala and some elders. So we'll come together, we'll talk, then we'll know the way forward before we go on a mass action. We are planning on mass action in the state to call the attention of the government. Of course, the government is aware of what is going on, but want to like hear from the other side also. Let's hear from the Fulanis here, the chairman here in the meeting, then the chairman of all Hausa. Then we also will discuss with them, okay, what is the way forward? Because this thing happening is affecting all of us, not only them, not only we, but it's affecting all of us. Thanks for having me.
Good. Great. Thank you, Mr. Razak. Before we let you mute yourself, you are giving us a situation report from Ogun, and I love what you said, that we should stop talking too much. What we need to do is put action to words, right? If I am correct.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Thank you. And I want to believe there are a lot of stakeholders. That one way or the other can put some of these actions toward in our little ways. That is by touching people and talking to people. So, Mr. Razak, what you say now is the farmers and the herders are having issues in Ogun State, right?
Yes, ma. Not only the farmers.
Okay.
Now,
And
as at yesterday, we still got the news that the elders kidnapped two fufu sellers along Ayetoro Road as at yesterday, and they were demanding for 5 million each. That is 10 million naira. So I think this thing is beyond ethnicity. I think it is what we should look into as one Nigeria. We have intruders in our midst now. Okay, the intruders cannot come to our country without a spy. And that's what we are working on. That, okay, who is the spy among us in this country, in this Ogun State? Of course, it will be pointed out after the investigation, we will notice that it might be a Yoruba man or woman that is behind all these things. So it's not about even farmers alone. They are attacking people, kidnapping people, killing people, or even on the road, major road. They are coming to sell their goods in Abeokuta, their food in Abeokuta, and they were kidnapped. So it goes beyond farmers alone.
Wow, this is great, and it's something you said there was going to be a meeting. I know the meeting was meant to hold today, so it would have been very
Yes, ma'am.
beautiful to connect with you and then the meeting. Right. What
Yeah,
time is the
actually,
meeting
there's a
holding?
meeting going
Because
on with
when
it.
I spoke with
It's holding on next week on the 3rd, next week Wednesday, and it's going to start 11 a.m. So I should be there by 10:30, so I will try and work on the technicalities so that you can join from there. I already informed the chairman of the meeting, so he said we are good to go.
okay, great. But do you know that there is this commission? Because I know when we had the last program, I would like us to replay that audio so that you will hear. We started with that. Please, Professor Garba, the first video we played, he mentioned the particular commission. And I know that the commission, we will still try to bring the commission on board for now. We will bring the commission. It's called the National Nomadic Education Commission. The prof mentioned that issue. Please get the video. Let us play that video. Are you on standby on it? Rewind it. He said that he was talking about education. Now, do you have access to that commission in Ogun State? I don't
I
know if
don't
there's
have
somebody that is with us that would like to.
I don't have
Okay, I know there are some people we have on this. Hold on, Mr. Razak. There are some people we have on this platform that might be willing to provide the answer. In case you want to type, you can go ahead to type that, because we really want to keep some things anonymous so that we can chat a way forward. Nobody goes after the other person. Or you want to respond to what Mr. Razak have said. But Mr. Razak, so I'll come back to you so that you can answer that. There is a commission in that. Have you invited that commission, or is the state, has the state involved the commission to participate for this meeting that will be holding by the 3rd of March?
I can't really
Mr.
see if the
Razak,
state
you are
has
muted.
invited
We'd
me.
like to hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now, ma?
Yes, I can hear
Can you
you,
hear me,
please,
ma?
sir.
Okay, I don't know if the state has
Yes, sir, I
invited
can
them,
hear you, sir.
but so I don't know if the state has invited them though. But what I know is I'm not aware of the organization in the state. I can't lie about that. I'm aware of it.
Wow. Okay, please, I know there are people on this platform that can profile, that can solve that problem for us. Please, sir, is there a nomadic education commission? Do we have a chapter in Ogun State, sir, please? Who will be willing? Mr. MJ Julde, I know you have brothers within the place. Mr. MJ Julde would like to come to you, but Mr. Laboro, would you want to react to that? Because Professor Garba suggested that, Mr. Razak, if you're still listening, he suggested that that meeting in Ogun State, that the Nomadic Education Commission should also be involved in resolving this, because they got it. And I know that I spoke with someone too that said that they create schools within. So if there are issues that the commission could intervene, yes, the commission is open and the commission is free. The commission will be willing to do that. So I guess what we'll do is we'll do our homework and then make findings. If there is a chapter of that commission within Ogun State, they should also be involved in that meeting so that people can give their contributions and then have the problem, because there is an executive secretary and that takes care of that. And I heard that they are doing so many tremendous work within the country, that particular commission. So we need to engage them. So Mr. Razak, before we come back to you, let's take Mr. Laboro in Phoenix. S5, Mr. Laboro, are you willing to talk to us? And then we'll go to Mr. MJ Julde. Can you deactivate your audio? All right, Mr. MJ Julde, let's take you before we come to Mr. Laboro. Mr. MJ Julde, if you are there, kindly help us deactivate your audio and your video if possible so that we can have a chat with you.
Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm happy to be part of this wonderful program, a program that is finding a solution to especially the problems that this country is facing. To be frank, with ourselves. The main problem of this country, most of us know it. Whenever there is no justice, there won't be peace. Most of the times, injustice from all angles drive to what is leading to what is happening in this country. The program is titled "We Should Stop Bloodshedding." Then we should stop retaliating and we should forgive. From the first item, we should stop bloodshedding. If you should notice, most of us in Nigeria, we are believers. If you are a Christian, you strongly believe on your religion. If you are a Muslim, you also strongly believe on your religion. Even if you are a pagan, you strongly believe on your religion. What is surprising me is the question I always ask myself: why are we killing ourselves? Why are we destroying ourselves? Why do we hate ourselves? Is it from our religion? The answer is no, because in all these religions, there's no any religion that encourages bloodshedding. So the truth aspect is we Nigerians, we try to politicize every aspect of our life, which is very, very unfair. We must go back to the life that our forefathers have spent. We'll be parking under the umbrella of Headers Farmers Crisis. Headers Farmers Crisis has been existing for long, and I believe our fathers have many ways of handling it in such a way that even going to the security agencies when there are such crises, we doesn't go. So the truth aspect is we hate ourselves for no reason. And especially the medias, they are not doing justice to the oneness of this country. We, the youth, we are not doing justice to ourselves. We only lie within us. If you should notice, we enter the same bus without problem. We go to the same hotel, we go to the same meeting. Our National Assembly, they are sitting together. Then what is happening in Nigeria? What I believe is that there is an agenda, a hidden agenda, which me, you, and other people, we must have to come together and look on how we are going to pinpoint that agenda so that we tackle it. This thing is not normal. There is something hidden under what is happening in this country. So my advice to all of us is, whatsoever we are doing, let us do it with fairness. Let us be justice, and let us be practicing what we are saying. Most of us do not practice what we are saying. We will come to this audio and talk blah, 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 blah. The next thing, maybe you will be the pioneer of the next problem happening. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. According to the constitution, everybody has right to live everywhere. Why are we pinpointing a single tribe in the name of we are trying to drive it away? What have they done? If it is the issue of kidnapping, there's no any tribe that is not kidnapping. Kidnapping, banditry, IPOP, all these things, they are existing. But why are we centering, we and the media, on a single tribe? Please and please, we need justice in that aspect. We need justice in that aspect. Being the first time attending this kind of a program, this is the little I can say for now, which I believe maybe in subsequent time, I will come back if given the opportunity. Thank you once again. I'm MJ Tulte from Kaduna State. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 wow. Just in few words, you have given us so much to chew and so much assignment. And I still want to support Mr. Razak and Mr. MJ Julde. Let us put actions to words and stop talking. So we are trying to put action to our words by putting this program together. And at the same time, we are dragging one or two persons to come together so that we could work. Mr. MJ Julde, in summary, said injustice But I wouldn't know, Mr. MJ, I would like to come back to you if we can pick you back so that you can make references to some of the injustice. You know, when you know where your house is really leaking, you say my roof is leaking, but which part of your roof is leaking? It will take a long merry-go-round, rigmarole, and a lot of things before you can pick it. But if the owner of the house says this point is leaking, then it is easy to block that. So, Mr. Julde, I will like you at the next time you'll be coming up to please, or if you want to react to that now, like we wanted to do with Mr. A.Y. Umar, the areas of injustice. Except you don't want to react, let's not leave it vague. And then it is the religion thing.
For example, I am a Fulani man. If a Fulani man commits an offense, they will attach that offense to the name of the tribe. But if an Igbo man or a Yoruba man or a Hausa man commit an offense, they will do the media or the broadcasters doesn't attach their names to that crime. And attaching a name to a crime or a tribe to a crime triggers hatred, especially on that tribe. That's number one aspect of injustice. Number two aspect, if a Fulani man is moving, the way he is treated is different from the way other Nigerians are treated, which it's a big question on that aspect. Why is it so? Going down to the security agencies, whatsoever, the way a Fulani man is treated, maybe because they have taken him to be a fool or whatsoever. So when it comes to him, the way his affairs are handled is different from any other Nigerians, the way their affairs are handled. And secondly, look at what is happening now in Nigeria, especially in the Yoruba land. What is happening? They are declaring a total war on Fulani. Why are they declaring a total war on Fulani? What have they done? If one Fulani have committed a crime, does it mean that all Fulanis are criminals? The answer is no. We all know that. So this part of the injustice that are happening in this country, especially to a particular tribe, there are many more to say, but just to minimize, just giving a reference. Thank you very much. I hope you are satisfied with the 2 points I've given. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Julde. I really appreciate that. Treatment, the way you treat people. I made an instance. If you find a Fulani man, a Fulani child in your school coming for an enrollment, how will you feel? So, Mr. Julde, I would still like to hold, I see that Nurse, I would like to engage us. Mr. Razak, you are still there. You are a Yoruba man living in Ogun State. And I would like to throw this conversation to us. And Mr. Ladi had left. I would like us to have this conversation. Mr. Razak Oguntade, Mr. Julde, and I can see Nurse, let's quickly introduce Nurse, sorry, I'm trying to get her name. Nurse who? Okay, Nurse Masood Muhammad Sani. Okay, Mr. Ladi is there now. We have this conversation. What can we do to tackle this issue? I wouldn't want us to talk too much. Injustice to the Fulani man. Yoruba man, what injustice is being vetted on you? Treatment to a Fulani man. Is that what has degenerated? Can't we talk about this thing, reconcile it? Because there's a way you will look at me, I will tell you, why are you looking at me like that? And then the person can explain. But when we put the ball rolling to Mr. Julde, Mr. Razak Oguntade, Mr. Ladi Shoyode, and Nurse Muhammad Sani, I would like us to go back to Amara, because she will take us through what the social media does to us. That is why we are hearing directly from the horse's mouth. And I see that Mr. Laboro too has activated his audio. But let's her take us through some series on her platform and let us understand some certain things. While we begin to think about how we can how we will resolve this. The issue is injustice treatment. Who are the people doing this? We get ourselves ready. Amara, please, can we have
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
So we can hear you.
Okay. So,
Right. Go ahead, stand up.
so back to our social media platform in conjunction with media and information literacy. We've been seeing so many things on social media, and most times these are the things that we as a nation we put in our heads, and sometimes it affects us in different ways. So this media and information literacy is just trying to let us know that we should try to stop the hate speech, because social media platform goes a long way in disseminating information, and it reaches a whole large, number of persons. So first of all, in whatever we are doing, because the country right now is in disarray, and the best thing we can do as a media, as a platform, is to speak nothing but peace. Okay, we should speak nothing but peace, despite the things going on. You can pass your own message, preaching peace to people who have lost hope, to people who have been injured, to people who have been, wounded in one way or the other, by one, trying to speak peace and not hate. There's some media, there's some platforms that they don't even give informations other than hate speech, bad informations, everything evil. That way, people receiving this information, I don't know how you're just, regulating their mindset. You're preparing them for, negative things or negative thoughts in their heads. So we should try to, whatever information we receive, whenever you receive an information, we should try to verify this information first. Check for the source, where it's coming from, and how true it is. We should think about it. Is this information good for me to pass to this particular person or group? How are they going to receive it? By the time you're done analyzing and thinking about this information, then you go ahead to share the information. And afterwards, you think about it, you create, and you share. Then that way, we are trying to wipe out the hate speech online. Just as I've told you something right now, I'm telling you something, and you're listening to me, you're receiving from me. You try to verify who is talking, what she's saying, how true is she. Go on Google, check, is she true, is she fake, what kind of person is she. Then think about what I just told you now. If it's going to benefit your neighbor, if it's going to improve the life or development of your community, then you go ahead to share it. Because a lot has been happening in our society today. So the best thing we can do is to promote peace by speaking it, by sharing it in different ways we can. Thank you very much.
All right, great. Thank you
so much?
Thank you
So much, Amara.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amara, for that taking us through. She just said we should think before we share. Now, I would like to bring on board Mr. Laboro to say what he has to say and to contribute to the program. But before I quickly do that, Mr. Razak, we want to come to you on this. We got an information, Mr. Ladi, thank God Mr. Ladi too is on. I got an information from Mr. Ladi Shoyode telling me that there is fire on the mountain in Yewa, right? Adesa, if I remember that, there's fire on the mountain in
Yes,
Yewa.
ma.
It's a social media
Yes.
broadcast. I just want to
What?
buttress what Amara just said.
Okay,
And
okay.
we sent it to Mr. Razak. He's in Ogun State. Is there fire on the mountain? And Mr. Razak said, oh, I really cannot tell. I am not sure. So a lot of things are going on the social media. And I guess we should be careful the way we share it. So let us open the mic up to all of us now as we talk about the injustice, as we talk about
I would like
the
to
treatment, the way we treat our fellow brothers. When you see a Yoruba man within your community, how do you react? So let's have Mr. Laboro give his contribution, and then we go up to that. The mic is open to you, Mr. Laboro. Mr. Laboro, I also cannot hear you. Mr. Ladi too is raising up his hand. We can't hear you, Mr. Laboro. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Send him a chat. Maybe you increase your audio. Are you using an earpiece? Okay, we can only see your mouth move, but we can't hear you. We can see your mouth move. We can't hear you. No, we need to resolve that. We'll have to resolve that with you. So let's go ahead and resolve it. What is really going on with your audio? Do you have an earpiece with you? Maybe you try to. Do you have an earpiece? No. No, he doesn't. Okay. Okay, please, thank you. Get one. All right. So, Mr. Ladi, we can see you raising up your hand in this conversation. Mr. Ladi, can we have you go ahead now to speak? Mr. Razak is still there, or Mr. Razak is not there. So, Mr. Ladi, can we go ahead and react to Mr. Julde's injustice? I go ahead, please, sir.
I'm here, ma.
Well,
Mr. Ladi first. Mr. Razak, hold on. Mr. Ladi first. Okay.
Well, first and foremost, I cannot help but respond to the fact that I sent something in Yewa, and what I sent, I am a person that's very careful before disseminating any information. And before I sent it, I also had a discussion with the Senator Odebi, who covers the area, who is the senator, that's his senatorial district. And he actually made forceful and convincing arguments on the floor of the Senate regarding this. So what I talked about was surely not just spreading around fake news. It was surely not about spreading around fake news. Having said that, I have listened to a lot of the speakers. And yes, it is true that peace is desirable. Peace is always desirable because without peace, nothing good in human endeavors can be achieved. But we must not fall into that error where we are preaching peace without its twin. Without justice, there is no peace. And justice is a function of leadership and government and its coercive instruments of implementing law. Everything that is being discussed here today are all symptoms of an ailment. And we are elevating these symptoms to become the ailment itself. there has been a violation in Nigeria. And this violation is not something that happened today. It is a violation that has been going on and on from the birth of Nigeria. Now it has grown into a terrible tree, bearing fruits that are completely poisonous. I cannot fail to notice that a lot of people refer to a constitution. Nigeria does not have a constitution. Nigeria, there has been a violation, I repeat. Nigeria was a negotiation by the founding fathers. And there were certain fundamental things contained in the Independence Constitution. There were certain debates that went on that spans from state policing to resource sharing, and surely Nigeria was founded as a federal republic with certain powers that belong to the center and certain powers to the sub-sovereigns that make up Nigeria. All of this has been violated. And the violation is not in the past, but the violation is a continuum that is going on till tomorrow. And due to all of these violations, we have now sown whirlwinds. We have created this terrible situation because the negotiations of the wisdom of the founding fathers, Ahmadu Bello, Zeke, Awolowo, and the rest of them, Aminu Kano, it has all been violated. And when you have a situation where you go into a contract with anyone and you start violating that contract, there is going to be, excuse me, please, let me get to where I'm going. Excuse me, please. So what I am trying to say here is that for us to find a lasting solution to all of these ailments, first and foremost, there must be truth spoken. There is a violation. Secondly, we have people that have been elected to address this issue, and they must address it in, because if you now say it is the something of this magnitude, that leads us nowhere. The citizens of Nigeria have always loved each other. They have lived together. They are Fulani men that speak better Yoruba than I do. They are practically indigenous of that sort. They are Yoruba people that I know in the north that they cannot see themselves living anywhere else. Nigerians have come together and have lived there, and they will still do, but leadership has failed. And we have to bring our people that we have elected, we have to make sure and make certain that they do their job before they destroy this country that we all love so dearly. Thank you very much. That is my contribution.
Great, Mr. Ladi, thank you for that wonderful contribution. So now we want to take notes. We said we wanted to treat this issue of injustice and then treatment of others. How do you want to be treated? And how are you treating others? Nos Masood Muhammad Sani, we want to hear your voice. So Mr. Razak Oguntade, Mr. MJ Julde raised issues about the way the Fulani man is treated. I do not want us on this platform to ethnicize anything. First and foremost, we are all Nigerians, and we are also human beings. I want to be treated the way you will treat me. So let us all bring out those basic issues that have been hurting us, that have been killing us, so that we can resolve this. I will, beyond this talking, we want to put actions to it. And in the way of putting actions to it is because what happens in Kaduna is not the same thing that happens in Enugu. They differ. So Nurse Masood Muhammad Sani, we wouldn't know if you want to unmute yourself, deactivate your video and talk to us. While we are trying to wait for you on that, okay, I think he's doing that. Go ahead, sir. Nurse Masood Muhammad Sani, the floor is open to you, please.
First of all, I will say hello to everyone in this wonderful forum. I feel courageous when I was given this audium to talk about the issues that happened recently in this country. We were known with peace. As a Nigerian, we need to stay the way we were before. And as for my part now, I would like to say the actual solution to these issues now is we need justice. You know, like for every part of this country, you can find a Fulani man there, you can find a Yoruba man there, you can find an Igbo man there. Every tribe, we do live together. But the issues that are currently arising is so pathetic. And what led to these issues was injustice. I will be very happy if I see if I see people are living peacefully the way we were before. But all I want to say here is justice must be done to every citizen. That's my part. And I don't have anything to say more than, but only that we need justice. And in living with justice, everyone must accept the fact that we are Nigerians. But if not, nothing can change. And issues will continue arising here and there. Thank you very much.
Nurse Julde, thank you. Thank you. And I'm beginning to get a bit of our emotions. Yes, I'm beginning to tie our emotions to ourselves. But when I say justice, I want to give you a reference, which we did the last time. Stop the bloodshed. For someone whose father died while he was trying to queue up for his pension and became someone who is fatherless, is asking for justice. So how do you settle such a person? For someone whose wife died in the process of childbirth because there was no hospital, or because he took the wife to the hospital, and then some people does a hell like Nurse Masood now, and then the hospital didn't do well and all of that. He wants justice. So in this justice, Mr. MJ Julde, I would like you to make referrals to this justice. Mr. Razak, what justice are the farmers asking for? Mr. MJ Julde, please. And then Nurse Masood, if you want to talk. And then Mr. Ladi Shoyode. We all have different parts of this justice. And we say, stop the retaliation. You are retaliating because you want to fight for yourself. You want justice. Let us chart a way forward is what is all behind me. I'm sure we can all read it. We can read it. Reconciliation, conflict resolution, and then restitution. If you kill my fowl and I feel the only way I can get restitution is you buy me another fowl. So is there a means where I can buy you fowl or not? Let's get to the restitution table. I think the violation of people have been violated. Okay, it's no more okay. So Mr. Ladi is raising up his hand. Mr. MJ Julde, please, it will really help us. Forget the fact that we are just discussing this, but I know we are able to do it. So let us make references to this injustice. Mr. Masood, he said we need justice. Justice must be done to every citizen. So let's make references to all of these injustices that have been going. Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Now, Mr. Razak and Mr. Ladishoyode, can we hear your part of the injustice? Can you spell out what the injustices are, especially in this bloodshed that we are going through? We all know what is happening in this part of the country now. It's about farmers, headers, and some people kidnapping, and then the rest. Mr. Ladi first, and then we'll take
Yeah,
Mr. Razak.
thank you, ma.
Well,
Mr. Razak, go ahead.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much, ma. And first thing I would like to say is I want Mr. MJ to know that we have a lot of Fulani that are around the farm that will live peacefully there. That will talk, will gist together because, of course, they've been in the village for a while, and we are not trying to put the blame on one tribe. Of course, we've been living peacefully. We've been coexisting for a while without even blaming anyone. Maybe I can say maybe it is the media. It is the media that is I don't know picturing them to be the distant. But what I'm trying to say here is, of course, we have in the Yoruba tribe. Of course, we have criminals in each tribe. But what we are trying to say is, okay, as I said before I round up the other time, I said one of the investigations they are doing is to know who is who is behind those acts in the state, because first thing has not really been happening. Of course, it has been happening in that side before, but without the consent of someone, they can't come in and attack. And that's why one of the this thing we concluded at the last meeting is we want the chairman of Fulani to come. Of course, the mass action will be having in Ogun State. They will be joining us. All of them will be joining us. We said we don't want to just conclude on the mass action without hearing from the Fulanis first, because we've been living together for a while, and we can't just conclude in a day that okay, it is those that are living with us for a while are the one destroying us. No, we can't say that, because there is this peaceful coexistence between us before. That's why we said, okay, let's have them around. Let's discuss the way forward. So through that, we'll be able to fish out those that are doing all those things, the perpetrator of the act. Is that we are trying to put the blame on one tribe? No. Of course, it might even shock you, Mr. MJ, that those that we might find that might be the, let's say, Babasala of this people might be the Yoruba man. We don't know. We don't know. But what we're trying to say is let's come together, let's fight this insurgency, let's fight this insecurity. Of course, the farmers are shouting, okay, the injustice is they are not, when the cow destroyed their farm, no, they are not paying back. When this happened, there's no justice for them. Okay, I will say, for example, during one of my this meeting with one of the villagers, I was trying to question them, okay, what has been happening before? And they said they've been living together, nothing has happened. And just all of a sudden, something of this started happening. And they said, okay, once they report, nothing is done. Once the any Fulani man or anyone invaded the farm and the person was caught and they reported, nothing is being done. And this will continue to trigger hatred within us if we don't stop this. Of course, the state, the police, the force has their own part to play. There's the place of the legal administration now, of the legal people, of course. They have the role to play. But if we don't come together as one, there's nothing the force can do. Of course, they will keep on trying. It's just a call that will stop them from doing what they need to. But if we come together as one, you're a Fulani man, I'm a Yoruba man, we come together as one. Of course, we are Nigerians. And I tell one of these things that the government fear is when we come together as one to fight for our rights. Because I know we go a long way than one person shouting and shouting. So I want us to come together. Of course, there's injustice in when they invade the farm, no one will repay them back. It is even once in a while they will pay. But according to what I heard from the villager, they said whenever there's the chairman for that for Fulanis in the village. Once there's anything like that, they go there. Okay, who owns this car? Who owns this? Who owns that? Then they settle it. But now, once something of this is happening, this thing that is happening now, no one can identify who is who. We only know it is Fulani. What they can say is, okay, it's Fulani, not them. Okay, who would want to hold responsible for it? So we need to come together as one to fight this. Of course, as Mr. Ladi said, that we need to come together and fight this, because I can say that I can't really say, but I can still say that the government has failed in some aspects. But we need to come together, irrespective of what the government has done to us. We need to come together. We are the one this thing is affecting. There's one time sending this thing, so Adebi was sending this and telling people that this thing should become. There are series of meetings. We have people from here that we hold this meeting together, not just people from here. We hold this meeting together just to make sure this thing ends. That's why we're not giving coming to the conclusion that okay, this is what we want to do. That's why we want to first of all meet all of us, both the Hausas, both the Igbos, both the Fulanis in this place. Let's come together, then file out, okay, this is what we want to do before we go out for the mass action. And one of the plans is both the Fulanis, both the Hausas, every one of us, we are going out together, not just one tribe going out together. I have friends that are Fulani, I have friends that are Hausa, I have friends that are Igbo. So I'm of course, I'm a appreciative of peaceful coexistence. We're living together because we have benefit to each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I just got what you said. So that means we are planning. Now, when I say we are planning, every one of us on this platform, as many that wants to join, we'll be doing that mass action together, right? Can you, before Mr. MJ Julde and Mr. Ladi come up on this, can you explain to us what the mass action? Okay, we leave that to off the camera, because sometimes you don't want to put but if it is something you want to explain, you can just give a chat, private chat, Mr. Deza. We will know, so that we can all join. Since you say both Fulani, Hausa, we will come to the table and say these are the things we want. If Ogun State can do it, then we can replicate it in other states. I believe that will be fine by you. Think about it and then react. Let us have your reaction. Mr. Ladi, please. Mr. Julde, after Mr. Ladi, will come to you so that you can also pinpoint the areas of injustice. Mr. Razak just mentioned the fact that when cows, when farms are invaded and things are eaten, crops are eaten, how do you settle that? How do you restitute? And then sometimes those solutions are always come up, but these days they don't come up anymore. So Mr. Jude will come to you. Nurse Masood will also come back to you. So Mr. Ladishoyede, can we have you now, please? Go ahead.
Thank you very much. This is a national crisis. Sorry, 1 minute. This is a national crisis that is perhaps bigger than the crisis of the events that led to the Nigerian Civil War. And we are not fatherless children. It is imperative that our president speaks to us. The governors are running around. The Senate they are deliberating. The communities, the traditional rulers are running around. But our president must address us. We have a structural problem, like I said before. And these structures, if we do not quickly, and as a matter of urgency, activate things in community policing, Nigeria is very under-policed. There are so many unpoliced places in Nigeria. There needs to be proper clarification and empowerment of the governors being the chief security officers of their states. What is a chief security officer that cannot even command 10 men to arrest one person? I keep repeating, the violations of our constitution must be addressed as a matter of urgency. Once this is done, all these symptoms that we see, all of them will disappear. They will all disappear. People sneaking around, causing commotion, turning community against community, they will be arrested, they will be picked easily. But as long as we do not address the structural problem, then we will just be running around like a headless chicken. So what my own suggestion is that there must be pressure on the National Assembly to do the right thing. The president cannot even pass the law that there should be state policing. It is the National Assembly. There must be pressure put in the right places for the right structures to be together. In jurisprudence, there's something called the social contract theory. We are all in society because we want to live a secured life. That is why we have given up certain parts of our individual freedoms to be part of society and live under collective security. The day government starts failing in security, the government has failed. The National Assembly should do the right thing. And our president should talk to us so that there will be peace in the land. That is what I think should be done immediately and to be put in motion. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ladishiradi. I see that Mr. Laboro is back. I wouldn't know if we can test his audio. But Mr. Julde, while we are trying to work with Mr. Laboro, Mr. Julde, so let's come back to you now. Can we get those issues of injustice? Let's pick them out so that we can look through it, and in the process of trying to get a bigger and a better country, loving ourselves, this can be easily trashed out and sorted out. Mr. Julde, let's pick point that. Mr. Razak already told us farmers' invasion, and then he also told us about the plan that everybody, both the Fulani, both the Yorubas, both the Hausas, everybody is going out on a march, on his, like they have their problems and they have the solutions and they want to march to the government, say, government, do this for us, in Ogun State precisely. So let's also have what you have to say as regards that, Mr. Julde. While once we are done with you, we'll try if Mr. Laboro can connect with us now.
My brothers and sisters in this regard.
Mr. MJ Julde.
Yeah. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Hello.
we can hear you.
Are you with me? Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
This, okay. In regard to the question you asked me, sincerely speaking, what I will add in regard to what I have said is in regard to justice. If at all we want Nigeria to come back to the way it was, we all need to play our own parts. The executive should do their own part. The judiciary, that's our senators and reps, they should do their own part. The executive, they should, the legislative.
Okay, we are having, Mr. Julde is having some audio problems. Mr. Julde, if you can hear us, we can't hear you anymore. I guess there is an internet issue from your end.
Do their own.
Okay, Mr. Julde.
Because if you
Okay, Mr. Jude, hold on a bit.
A bro do his own part. Let me just give an example. There was a time that we Nigerians were being hunted and killed outside countries like bushmeat. As a Nigerian, how do you feel? Your fellow brother that you don't even know him, he is not your tribe, but because he's a Nigerian, he's been hunted and killed. How do you feel? So likewise, coming down to Nigeria, especially what has been happening in Oyo and other parts of the country, you see a tribe is being hunted, being killed, whereas we have legal rights that we are to take. If today I have done something wrong, take me to the appropriate authorities. Let the authorities do justice, just like what I have said. They should look into the problem, they should do justice. But what is killing us? If I commit offense, a policeman is looking for only what he's going to get. The judge, most of the judges, they are looking for what they will get. The people attached to everybody is after the worldly affairs. That is the number one problem. We should put Nigeria first, and we should put on how we are going to settle our disputes. We should be having a round table of discussion, not a tea table of discussion, because most of the round table discussion that we are having is only go there, sit down, drink tea, chat, share money, and go away. No, let's come down to the root of the problem. Let us have it in our own mind that we want to correct the mistake we have done. I am not arguing. Every tribe, everybody is bound of make a mistake. Just like the way the Fulani do their mistake, the Yorubas and other tribes, they all have their own weak points. Let's come together and look for those weak points and correct them. Nigeria is one and will always be one. We must live together, we must stay together, and we must eat together. Whenever you are planning, you are trying to send somebody away, at the same time, just like the Fulani man is all over the country, a Yoruba man is also all over the country. The Bauchi State governor made a comment in regards to what is happening in Yoruba State. Some people were criticizing, but if jokes apart, what he said is really, he said something that we have to look into. If a Fulani man is driven from Oyo, let's talk of Bauchi, a Yoruba man is in Bauchi. If the Hausas or Fulani men say, okay, the Yoruba man should leave Bauchi, where are we taking Nigeria to? If a Fulani man commits an offense, I am in the opinion that he should be put before the law and law should work on him. Likewise, if a Yoruba man commits an offense, he should put before the law and the law should work on him. But if a Fulani man commits an offense and you decide to kill all the old Fulani in that community, you are not in any way trying to make peace. Only you are in all ways trying to create more difficulties to even you that you are in that place. So my opinion, without taking much of our time, is let us have it at the back of our minds that we are ready to be Nigerians and we are ready to move Nigerian forward. We have better things doing. We need to develop this country. A Yoruba man cannot develop himself without an Igbo man. Likewise, an Igbo man can never develop himself without a Hausa man. A Hausa man cannot develop himself without a Fulani man. We are all interrelated. God knows why he kept us together, and God knows why he made us to find ourselves in wherever we are. It's left to us to accommodate ourselves, accommodate our differences, come together and look for lasting solutions. That is my additional contribution. Thanks a lot for the time given, MJ Julde. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. MJ Julde, thank you so much for your contribution. And like you have rightly said, that when a crime is committed, I would just like us to play one or two clips. We'll play one or two clips from, we had some participants who are students in a university, but we got information, they've just been chatting with me that they're finding it difficult to log in. I wouldn't know why. Maybe their Zoom have a problem. So we play this clip. I would like us to be very attentive, though we are not talking, and hear this. When we hear the clip, we'll react to that. But Mr. Labaro, I wouldn't know, before we play clip, would you want to talk to us, or after the clip you can unmute yourself and then go ahead?
Hello. 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 Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Good. Well, let me just say a little thing. I'm Lawal.
Mr. Laboro, hold on. Mr. Julde, please, can you mute your... Okay, you have been muted. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Laboro.
Okay. Good afternoon. It's a wonderful time, and I'm happy to be part of you. Oh, goodness. Well, I think the first and foremost, I would want to appreciate you for anchoring this program. And in fact, when you started it, I never knew what it is entail. But when I listened to speakers, I came to know exactly where we are heading to. And I think it's a wonderful coordination anchoring from you. The #stop bloodshed is just the end thing. And maybe what I will say is a lot of people have said, I have heard what you've said, and really it is. Well, my own little contribution to it is, you see, all of us are one. Forget about, let's put, what I want us to understand, we should put our ethnicity aside, put our religious belief aside, put our, whatever we think that will bring a problem to us, let's put this thing aside. The most important thing here is God, who created us, knew why he created us together, and knew why we found ourselves in this great country, Nigeria. We don't have any country other than Nigeria. I cannot move to Cameroon to claim it's my country. Neither can I go to Ghana or anywhere, even if I'm to be moved out of Nigeria, because I was born and brought up here. And so many of my parents, my great-grandparents were here. I can remember, if I'm going to take you to the story, it's gonna be long. I can remember, I knew when my parents were instrumental to bringing down our neighbor tribes from the mountains to the lower land, for them to farm, for them to do this thing. It's all because of oneness. We used to help ourselves. We used to assist ourselves. We don't have any differences between, you are a Christian, I'm a Muslim. I know what, let me hold to my Muslim faith. You hold to your Christianity, you hold to your paganism. Everybody should hold to his faith, and that is it. We've been living peacefully. If I tell you that why I'm in school is because of a friend who is not a Muslim, who is not my tribe, because he liked what he loves me. He cautioned me back because I was proven to be very difficult. I never wanted to go to school. I never wanted to go to school. I went to school. I dropped out. I said, "Kai, I'm not going to continue. Let me start something else." And what happened? This man looked at me. He used 3 words. I think I told you sometime back. He used those words on me. And in fact, if not because he likes me, it wouldn't have been. Relationship has on who? On the younger generation. You see, an illiterate. No, nobody is an illiterate. It's only when you are educationally illiterate. That is, underline it, educationally illiterate. You have the education, you were taught everything, you knew it from the beginning. This is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, and get what you want. But if you turn around and said, hey, I don't believe in what, I don't want to use the right thing, I'm going the other way, you have gone astray. So all this hatred between tribe, between religion, between communities, between states, I don't think it's going to take us anywhere. Because the blood you shed is going to be on your head. You should remember, if you kill 20, if you kill 30 on the last day, on the day of resurrection, on the day of what? All of them will come and meet you. One, you were the person that killed me. What did I do wrong? We have to look at this. We have to understand this logic. So basically, we need to assist ourselves. Let's forget about, for me, I grew up in a community where predominantly they are all Christians. Predominantly, they are not my tribe. Predominantly, I attended a missionary school. That does not force me to be a Christian or whatever. No, I didn't force anybody to take up my religion. No, believe it. So all this on fake news and social media incitation. That's what I believe. Somebody will just go and write, just like the clip you Ellen shown. People just write anything they want just to create confusion. And in fact, if you remember, the youths of nowadays, I think the whole thing is, they said, A devil mind. I mean, I don't know. Let me just put that one aside. You see, the problem
An
is
idle mind. An idle mind is the devil's
an
work.
idle mind is a devil workshop. So definitely we have so many devil's workshop in us, because those minds that are supposed to have been doing something else are not doing it, rather because they don't have access to maybe work. They are not doing anything. They don't have any skills to. But everybody, man, woman, or who, you have a skill that God has given you. Why not why not utilize that opportunity and be what you are? You see, you must not go to school and become something. With your intellect and the skills that God has given you, you can utilize that and earn a lot. And look at it. If you look at, we have drops out in the world who were school dropouts. But what do they become? They are the richest persons in the world. They are the most influential. Why can't we think it in Nigeria? Why can't we take that in Nigeria? These are type of the things we have to do. But we allowed those ideality in us to take the upper part of us. Definitely, if our governments will look at the population of the youth we have presently and foster a good relationship between the youth and other youth, so that once there is an opportunity, let's employ, give them job. Because once you are working, if you have gone out and work for the day, you suffered a lot. When you come back in the evening, you cannot be able to do anything because you are exhausted. But because most people don't do anything, and people are taken into drugs, taken into a lot of drinks, things that are bad. These are the reasons. So definitely, some of I would not blame anybody, but I would blame all of us. All of us are at fault. Why are we at fault? Because we don't normally do the normal. You see, it's good in your family. You have to start it from your family first. Remember, let's say I'm in Kaduna as an intern. My families are in Jos. If I don't visit them regularly, what do you think will happen? That's a problem. So most of us are in the cities. The main area, the place where you don't normally go and visit your brothers, your relatives in the villages, because you think you are big. You only have the money. You want to share it with your wealthy friends. You don't want to go and invest in your communities. I'm telling you, this is the bond of all the troubles. People just want to utilize the funds they have to themselves and their families, which is not the best. Like what you are doing, my able anchor person. This is a program you initiated. It is the skills in you that made you to do this. And everybody has that opportunity that he can do it. You understand? So everyone should utilize the most viable opportunity he has to the benefit of the generality. And when you come to do it, don't look at me, I'm a Fulani man. No, don't look at me, I'm an Igbo. Look at me as I'm a Moravul man, I'm a Tarok, I am a Birom. No, look at me as one. I think left for me, if I were to be in the National Assembly as a senator or a House of Reps, I would have a motion to move. This motion should be one. We should put away the issue of indigenization, indigens. I'm from Niger, I'm from Edo. No, that issue of indigenship should be put aside. We are all Nigerians, okay? If we put that thing aside, then we also have to put the issue of religion aside. Religion is a spiritual between you and your God. Don't be, I'm a Muslim, I must take this post. I'm a Christian, I must take, no. We have to put all these things aside. And the issue of, I belong, tell me, somebody, I know of Igbos, friend Igbos, that we are born and brought up in Kaduna. They don't know anywhere in the Southeast. And now they should be given the opportunity to contest and become something in the state. Likewise, somebody in the Southwest, I know of so many Fulanis who are from the Southwest. I have gone and seen who were born, they can speak the mother tongue of the Yoruba man more than their own mother tongue. Let these persons be given the opportunity to work and then be elect and be elected into the system as well. If you do that, you're doing justice. I know some of them are into it, but why now? Why are we changing situation? Why are we trying to run away from the truth? So these are the type of things. In the north, we have so many tribes. These tribes, we are all related. There is no tribe that you will not have a Christian. There is no tribe that will not have a Muslim among them. So all of us are brothers and sisters if we come into religion. But the most important thing, like a Fulani man I am, okay? In Fulani, we have different clients. Just like Yorubas, they have different clients in Yoruba. Am I right? Fine. Will you say, okay, because your client is this, you will ignore the other larger client or your other client members from your own tribe? No. Utilize that client, put the client aside. If you want to work for Yoruba, you are Yoruba, you want to work for Yoruba, put the issue of client, I'm from, is it Ejibo, the other side? Put it aside, work for the Yorubas in your community. If you are a Fulani, put the client of that your person, work for it. The same thing in the houses, the same thing to the Igbos. They also have differences. Like an Igbo from Imo, an Igbo from Abia, an Igbo from Anambra. When you sit with them, somebody will say, this one you are fake, this one you are original. Delta, we have Igbos in Delta. They will say, this one you are fake. They are friends, we have been sharing, we know all these things together. But why do we have to allow ourselves just because of selfish interest? Hatred will not take us anywhere. What? Let me not take much of your time. It's a very interesting program, and I'm sure I'm happy for one. My happiness is this. Those I invited, I saw them in the platform and contributing. I'm so grateful that these people are. But this is just a snack in what we are going to do maybe in the coming programs. And I want to appreciate Soya. So is it Shola Soya there or so? I can't see him again. I heard what he said. It was wonderful. And the same thing to that Razak, he said a lot, and I appreciate him. The same thing to my younger brother, MJ Julde. Yeah, you did well. And Ewa Farouk, Umar, they also did well. In fact, generally, I have to commend all of you for doing the greatest. This is a sacrifice. We must do it. We have to start somewhere to get somewhere. Because if you don't start, nobody will do it for you. You got to do it. When you have a problem in you and you don't have the solution to your problem, I'm telling you, you will extend yourself from people. So the most important thing, if you have a problem, share it with your immediate neighbor. Forget about who he is. Don't bring the issue of religion, the issue of tribe. Like myself, I be Fulani, make I just talk where they my body, where they around me. Now different tribes where they work with. To be frank and sincere, I have sponsored some of the indigenous persons in our place to attain certain level. Not that I'm rich, no. My sponsorship was the mentorship I'm doing to them. Man, you have to do this, and this is how you do it. You start from here, you get there. But if you don't do this to anybody, don't think maybe you only do it to your own tribal person, like a Fulani or a Hausa man. No, do it to anybody that is close to you. You don't know who will be the source of you going to paradise. Because all of us, what we are doing here, we are looking for paradise. And if we start to kill, tell me, is it written in any of the books? Is it in the Bible? Is it in the Quran? Is it in the paganism? Or is it in Hindu? Is it in Buddhism? All of them, there is nowhere it's written that you should go and kill your neighbor, your brother, because of anything. Religion is in the heart. What you have at heart, that's how you be judged. And how you intermingle with people, that's how people will judge you. And again, they said, if people are definitely you are doing well. And in fact, if everything you are doing is right, you have a problem. So definitely you may have certain flaws in you, and that makes you a human. But if you are 100%, check yourself, there is a problem. So basically, I wouldn't say anything. I think you've said all this thing, but I just want to respond to a question you asked earlier about the people in Ogun State holding a program. I understand there's going to be a meeting, something like that. Okay, what I want to say, you're asking of nomadic education program. Well, I'm not their spokesman, but I have friends who are working in nomadic education. We share some discussion with them. In the Southwest, they have a zonal office in Oyo. Their zonal office is in Oyo. If you want to link up, go to the state secretariat. Their office is there. You can invite the zonal officer. The zonal office the state comprises of the Lagos, Ondo, Ogun, Oshun, all states, Ikiti, all the Southwest states. Their zonal office headquarters is in Oyo, in Ibadan. So by and large, he has that. If you get to him, he can go to Ogun to attend the meeting if he is invited, because that is the work. Why are we working? We are working to help ourselves. We are working to put things right. And by this, I'm sure in the coming days, things will move. Madam, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, sir. So as we're rounding up the meeting, because we are meant to have some team of people in Kano State that have not been able to join. So I would still like us to, because very soon now in the next few minutes, we'll like to wrap up today's edition. Let's quickly play the clip from Kanu. Since they couldn't join us, you know, the passion to talk, the passion to contribute, the passion to be a nationalist was actually in them. So they did a WhatsApp video and said to us that our voices must be heard in this program. So
Yes.
it's very interesting to see that Nigerians are rising up. And I want to believe from this platform, hashtag stop the bloodshed, we will be all over this country, and it will go beyond, because I know a lot of people said let's put action to work. So beyond sitting down in our various corners and talking about these things, I believe we will get to the street, and hashtag stop the bloodshed, like Mr. Laboro has said, is the right word, is a good word that we should use. So Mr. MJ Mulde, Noza, Masood, and every other person, because some others we schedule them, they have to go, but let's watch this clip briefly.
We are that in such a religion by birth. We were born in such by parents of such religions, and we grew up like that. We were born in various places, not because we choose to go there, just like he insinuated. And then we are there not because we wanted to be there, but it was destined that we would be there. By and large, far as I'm concerned, I think that we are all human beings, first of all, before we are what we are by our tribes. And therefore, we should be equal. Nobody is superior and nobody is inferior. If you are privileged to have a particular knowledge or wealth, it is just by destiny. It is the choice of God that you become what you are. Now, the main issue is about the killings in this country. Are there any justifications to that? Sincerely speaking, there is none. What do you stand to benefit if you kill someone? Nothing, absolutely. You are not, first of all, responsible for creating such a person. Why would you be responsible? I mean, why do you take his life? And both religions, because I'm talking from the Islamic and Christianity perspectives. Such is not allowed by any means, unless maybe in defense. But you find gangs, groups of people, killing another people just because you have different religion or you are from different tribes. And what is more worrisome for me is the fact that you meet educated people sending this propaganda against other ethnic groups. I don't think the education has added any value to such a person. If I'm a Fulani person, so be it. If you are a Yoruba person, so be it. What is common among us is that one, we are human beings, that is humanity. Therefore, I don't think, and I think again, that we have responsibility as people that are privileged to be educated. We should not have the politician to use us left and right, up and down. I'm making this statement because I think some of these killings are politically motivated. We live in a political era. Politicians would use any opportunity to influence the weak one among us. What I mean by weak ones, people who don't think for themselves. No matter how influential you are, you can't come to me and tell me go and kill somebody and I think you are saying the right thing because you are a politician. So the weak one amongst us needs to be educated. We frown at Nigeria as at the time we went to University of Maiduguri. That's why I studied. You can go to anybody's house at night, knock, you'll be given accommodation, and you sleep. The next day you move to your next destination. The story today is different. If you come to someone's house and not today, you are definitely not, you are most likely not to, not going to be permitted in that house. Now, my own problem about these killings orders is, if someone comes to you and tell you that this is done by so tribe, and you sitting there, you conclude that this is the habit of so tribe, I don't think you are doing justice to yourself. In every tribe, there are the bad ones. And in every tribe, there are good people. Don't generalize. The Yorubas are killing the Hausas in Ibadan. And so, I attack the Yoruba person in Hausa, in Kano. That is not educated. Are you getting what I'm saying? That is not reflecting our level of education, or we are not using our education appropriately if we do think that way. So my own advice, and I like what the prof said lastly, we move with time. Some cultural attitudes definitely with time would have to go off. I am a Fulani by extraction and a Fulani headman. I have a house, as I speak to you, I don't move about with them. That is the reality. Those people, I listened to what the governor of Kano said yesterday, and I like that a lot. These are rich people, and they are also poor people. Somebody moving with 100 or thousands of cattle is moving with a bank. But if you see him physically, you don't buy him one kobo. How is that important to the wealth he has?
Yeah, sorry. We just have to, because of our time and then the targets, that we need to close this program because there's going to be another edition. So I know that we heard what he has said, but just in 1 minute, Nos Masood Muhammad Sani, we would like you to summarize what he has said just in 1 minute, and then after that, we will just do a recap, take our national anthem, and then go off. But I want us to know, Nos Masood, I would like you to do that recap for us, since you're from Kanu, one of the speakers. I think we have few of them there, and since they couldn't connect, they did that. That's a lecture room in one of the universities in Kanu. That's a lecturer trying to join us so that the students can give their point of views. But obviously, it's a 7-minute video, and I don't think all of us have that strength to go through it. If not, Masood is still on. Please, can you just summarize that video for us? Or Mr. MJ, okay, Nos Masood, thank you. Nos Masood, go ahead, please. Because I think we are all speaking the same language, even from that video. Please, can you summarize so that we know that you are on with us?
Yeah, actually, hello everyone, I'm back. The video
you can't see your video. your video, please activate your video. Yeah. Yes, because we are streaming live. So if we can, is when people cannot do their video, we let, because we are streaming live, it's good to let's just have you have your video and let's feel you in person. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Actually, I'm so sorry to say. First of all, I'm from Bochinot, Kano, actually. And
the video is from Kanu. No, the video is from Kanu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe what you're saying. The video was all about to stay positive with everyone as a Nigerian. I believe I can't say I heard the video in particular in whole, but I can itemize what he was saying. He was always speaking about peaceful coexistence among the Nigerians, where he begins to say that he started his educational career from Maiduguri, University of Maiduguri, and now finally is here in Kano lecturing. So all he was saying was, let's live together, let's accept the fact that we are all Nigerians, and we do believe we stay together as one nation. I think that's all I can hear from the video. I'm so sorry because I was partly busy with work. Yeah.
No problem. So in the next 5 minutes, we'll be out of this room, and then we will look forward upper week. I'm sure our points of contact and our points of communication will also pass across the next program. And then after that program, I believe we should be on ground visiting all our communities. Mr. Julde and Nos Masood, can you in 10 to 15 seconds communicate hashtag stop the bloodshed, stop retaliation, forgive? Let's chart a way forward. You can see that there. Can you communicate this in full day for us, please? We start with we'll start with Nos Masood. We go to Mr. MJ Julde, and we take Mr. Laboro, and then we take Amara to tell us in Igbo, and then we take Adeza to tell us in Yoruba. And if there's anybody on the floor that can tell us in Hausa, maybe we take Mr. Laboro to tell us in Hausa. Yes. So, Mr. Nos Masood, let's start with you, please. Just in few words, stop the bloodshed. You can see it on the screen. Communicate it in full day. Thank you.
Okay. Bandiraɓe fulɓe en nyalli jam noye sawre noye kugal. Mi andi hande on gi'ay hundeji ko fari musamman leydi men Nigeria no wonani joni. Haɗum iya kungiyaru meɗen ndu ummi hande ɗum walla ɗum joɗɗo jam ɗum waɗa munyal ko fari to gaɗa. To ɗum waɗa munyal sai ɗum joɗɗo jam kuma ɗum janga Nigeria no wondo denno. Allah jo'ina en jam. That's all I have for you, please.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's have Mr. MJ Mulde do that in his own version of full day, and then Mr. Laboro will help us with Hausa, Amara will help us with Igbo, and Mr. Deza will help us with Yoruba. So let's have you, Mr. Julde, please.
Dexa, 500. Ask Oga. Ask Oga.
Mr. Julde, we are waiting for you. Mr. MJ Julde, we are waiting for you to stop the bloodshed, stop retaliation, forgive. Let's have you, sir.
Mi noddere jam wala ko ɓuri jonde jam jonde jam emi noddude gan joɗoɗen jam bandiraɓe meɗen ɓe joddiɗen jomirawo waɗi joddiɗen e maɓɓe to koɓe gaɗani koɓengal e majum joni non no joɗortoɗen jam ngam leydi meɗen yeeso nonno nafirten en ko jamgen ngam nanden e komoy emi hoynaw emi waɗa emi do'o on yeeso. That's all what I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So
okay. A bar zub da jini. A daina ramako. A yafe wa juna. That's it.
No, stop the bloodshed, stop retaliation, forgive.
Yes.
Let's chart a way forward, reconciliation, and yes, all of that series.
Okay, let me take it again. A bar zub da jini, a daina ramako, a yafe wa juna, a nemi hanyoyin da za a sasanta al'amura tsakanin 'yan uwa da 'yan uwa. Ko da shike, I'm not a Hausa man, but
all right, thank you, sir. I would have given you, except if you want. Okay, all right. So Amara, let's have you do that in Igbo quickly, so that we round up and we have Adeza do that in Yoruba. Then we stand up all together. The national anthem is a composition of different languages. So let's have you, Amara, quickly do that in Igbo.
Okay. Nigeria. Ihe anyị na-akwu bụ ka anyị kwụsị ịgba onwe anyị maka anyị bụ nwanne, ka anyị gbaghara onye ọbụla mmego anyị njọ, biko, maka iwu Chineke si na ka anyị nwee ịfụnanya ebe nwanne anyị nọ. Ọ ihe a na-akọ ebe a, ka anyị kwụsị igbu onwe anyị, biko. Thank you.
Okay, great. So Adeza,
ẹ̀yin ọmọ Nàìjíríà rere, a fẹ́ bẹ̀bẹ̀ pé ká dá ọwọ́ ìtẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀ dúró, ká rí wípé a dáríjì ara wa, ká dẹ̀ rí wípé a ò fi ibi san ibi fún ara wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pawọ́ pọ̀, ká forí ká pawọ́ pọ̀, ká sọ̀rọ̀ bá ṣe máa rí dájú wípé a fi òpin sí gbogbo ìtẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀ tó wà ní ìlú wa. Ká má ṣe lára ara wa, ká dẹ̀ rí dájú wípé a dáríjì ara wa.
All right, thank you. You could see that my people are struggling to speak their language. It's very funny. That is where we are. So here, Nigeria stands for Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, all Nigerian languages. And what we try as much as possible to do and to promote within this place is to speak our languages. So on behalf of all of us in the studio, and then our lovely people who has joined, and the people that are having issues to join, we say we love you all. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for your data. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your passion for your fellow human being. Every human life matters. Every Nigerian life matters. So let us respect this country, beautiful country, Nigeria, as we rise up and take the national anthem. We round up the meeting. Thank you very much. Wherever you are, please stand up on your feet and let's take the national anthem. National